Good evening, everybody. How are you? Oh, it's hot under here. Wow. I wore that tonight because my friend Michael said to me that I should switch it up a little bit and not just start the regular way, so I tried to do this. But in truth, it's more than just a prop. I do want to speak to you tonight about masks, but more importantly about people who make a difference. So I'm supposed to begin tonight. Oh, look at my hair. I'm supposed to begin tonight by supposedly apologizing for last night about my April Fool's spiel. Absolutely no apology coming, and be prepared for early April Fool's 2021. When tragedy strikes our people, as human beings, as it says in the Torah, teva hatov lehitiv, that the nature of a human being is to do good, is to dig deep and do the right thing and help people out, especially when it comes at a sacrifice to oneself. And in addition to that, when it comes from within altruistically, no one looking for public recognition. Tonight, I want to share a beautiful, inspirational happenings, more than a story, is actually happening right now in our community with three people. I will not mention their names or their businesses because that would defeat the purpose. The reason why I'm choosing to speak about them tonight is because that's exactly who they are. They're doing the right things for the right reason without recognition. So there's a gentleman in our community who is a manufacturer of various plastic goods, and he has in a neighboring town a big facility, a big warehouse, a manufacturing warehouse, one of the last in America. Right after we had a shortage of masks, he calls me and he says, I'm working on this prototype to see if I can assist and actually change my production, my entire production line I'll put on pause, and I will change up my entire staff, and I will only make masks to be able to get it out for people and help them. Not to make money, because he was making money in the other industry. And 7 days later, working day and night, I know because I'm up most of the night and I see him up early and going to sleep late. Right? He has changed his entire factory with the challenges of finding workmanship because people are either not well or scared to come out. And he has now started, tomorrow morning we'll start to make between 5,000 and 7,000 masks. And these are more than masks. There's face shields and masks. It's really an amazing device, contraption that he put together. 5,000 to 7,000 per day. Now, we know how easy this, sadly, corona is, that when it spreads, it's like wildfire. But conversely, if we think of it the other way around, if we're able to stop one person from contracting it, and that multiplies and the ripple effect is so many, then think of how many 5,000, 7,000 masks would save. So that person is an inspiration. And then the next individual in our community who's the family's into a personal private business. He didn't share anything with me. His father was speaking to me yesterday and he says, I'm proud of my son. And he tells me why, because he has this 3D machine and he's able to put together him and his friends, and they made 12 and now they're producing more. This is purely to go to the doctors' homes so they can have these amazing, it's a shield, but it's more than just with the mask and with the face shield, so they can really be safe as they go each and every day to save us. Here you have people in a different line, a different industry. They've stopped production or they began a new production with an industry that they're not used to, just so that people can be helped and be saved. That is altruism. That is the mitzvah, the deepest and the greatest level of giving charity and helping out, literally saving lives. You're an inspiration. You know who you are, and I thank you for that. And then there's another individual who has a big tech company who said to me that he was speaking to his entire team about the money and the food and the good that they're going to donate in honor of coronavirus. And then one of the employees turns to him and he says, okay, but in the food or what we donate, can we just put our label, our signia of our corporation there so people will know it, at least it came from us? And the CEO says to me, I told them absolutely not. Because there comes a time in life that you want to have publicity, you need to market yourself, true, but there comes a time in life that not only should be the last reason, there should be no reason to get self-recognition. We do this for the right reasons because they deserve to eat, because they're working, they're helping us, the medical professionals. Because people who need something more than we already have, we do it for them in a time of need. And it's not always and only about marketing. And that inspired me a lot and reminded me when I was a child. There was a show called Dad's Army in England. It was a satire, it was a comedy show, but it really was dark humor because growing up, the British were fighting the Germans, and there were a few retired older men And they each had different. One was a butcher, one was a plumber, and they decided they're going to create their own army, Dad's Army. And it's really funny. Each one has their own idiosyncrasies, their own personalities. It's British humor, but at the same time, you see how each one felt that they could make a difference, even if it was helping with one defense or one aeroplane to make a difference in the defense of England, the defense of freedom and democracy. And when I think about that in the time of war, I make the parallel here. And unfortunately, this is a war. It's a war of health. It's a war of people's lives. It's a war of future people's mental well-being. It's a war of people's financial future. It's challenging. It's dark out there. So then we look to people, to humanity, and we say, wow, we have these individuals who unbelievably just changed their entire life, stop everything. They didn't have to. They can say the federal government is supposed to do that for us. No, they say, I am my brother's keeper, and I'm responsible for another, and I'm going to make something and do something about that. So to you three, I want to say thank you, and to all the others who are making such a difference, doing such really wonderful things. I just on Facebook a moment ago, my Chabad colleague in Massachusetts tells me how, I believe it was the Patriots, 1.2 million masks were just donated. They were able to find and donated it. I think it's more than federal government's given. So very soon, most probably, we're going to be following the way it was in many countries, including Israel, that every American, I know in California already they have this, and in Florida, every New Jerseyan or New Yorker is supposed to go out with a mask, something covering themselves. So first of all, we have to take care of those who are at greatest risk. And then after that, for ourselves, who's going to produce this? We're not ready, unfortunately. Our own people. Our own people within our own community are going to make a difference. And so while we are ravaged with this challenge, we have our people who are going to show us how we're going to reverse it. There could be no greater, more inspirational message than that for me tonight. So I want to bid you a good night. Thank you guys very much for your dedication, each and every one of you. God bless you. God should reciprocate your compassion, your kindness a billionfold. And each one and each life and each tear that it saves, please God, the ripple effect will be many joyous, happy, back to our regular life American moments that we can celebrate together. I'm going to head home shortly. I spent the night with my father-in-law again. Thank God he had a good rest, a good night's sleep. He had a little ice cream tonight. He was weak today, but he's in good spirits. And I keep sharing with him that I'm speaking to everyone in the community, and he appreciates and he sends his love back. Thank you. Think of what you can do to make a small difference, because one person can make a difference to an entire world. Have a good night.